MightE Bambino, then we go into this final race of the season with less than 10 points, splitting Ralph Martin, Alfie Garrett and Ansel Murray in the championship. And once again, fittingly, it is those three that head the grid in MightE Bambino. Ansel Murray and Ralph Martin go off the front row. Alfie Garrett and Oakley Riggs on row number 2, with Ethan Lloyd and Daniel Stangarian on row number 3. Then it's Junior Wright and Jensen James Williams, with Heath Smith and Elisha Sang on row 5, Harley Bradbury Stretton and Ava Garrett on row number 6. Row 7 will see Jude Taylor and Etienne Gardner, with Oscar Maskell and Seth State Mackey on row number 8, Arthur Bath and Hadley Jarvis on row 9 in front of Nicholas Anser and Jack Morrell. Hopefully we'll see him out for this final. Weather conditions now with a big part to play in our MightE Bambino championship battle. Ralph Martin, second place enough if Ansel Murray wins. Third place though, not enough if Ansel Murray wins. Alfie Garrett needs to take victory in this and needs Ralph Martin to finish no higher than 4th place. 4th will take it to a tie break in that one. And we could end up with a situation where we have 3 karts all split by 1 point at the end of this championship battle. Should they finish, well, it'll be 2 points. If Alfie Garrett wins with Ansel Murray second and Ralph Martin behind, there'll be 2 points between 1st and 3rd in what has been an enthralling battle in our MightE Bambino Championship. What was going to be the final race of the season, the final race of the day here at Whilton, will now become the penultimate race of the day, as we have our Junior Rotax rerun final in a few moments' time after this one. Final few runners slotting themselves into position. And we will then be in a position to go racing for the final time in MightE Bambino in 2023. Just waiting for the final runner to make his way round. Jack Morrell rolls the 35 into place on the outside of the grid, and the green is up. 5-second board, 12 minutes on the clock once again. Red lights extinguish and MightE Bambino is away and racing this time. It's a good start from everybody as they make their way up towards the first corner. Ansel Murray and Ralph Martin then the first 2, and we've got spinners in the pack. That's Harley Bradbury Stretton round, as is the 45 of JJ Williams. And one further runner as well. Looks like it could have been the number 12 machine going round, although not sure we've got one. I think we'll pick it up in a few moments' time as they come up towards Christmas Corner. So 17 this time. It was Jude Taylor, in fact, going round rather than a 12. So field making their way up towards Wilkins and Oziers for the first time. Ansel Murray leading the way with Alfie Garrett in second place and Ralph Martin in P3. Spin for Junior Wright at Oziers. As this field makes their way round. Just bouncing off the track there was the 66 of Ethan Lloyd. Managing to keep himself going. Ansel Murray at the front though, pulling out a gap of 2.2 seconds. Almost unheard of in MightE Bambino, such as the parity of these karts. But Ansel Murray gapping the field on the opening couple of laps here from Alfie Garrett and Ralph Martin in second and third respectively. Spin for the 22 of Sestate Mackie. Very, very difficult to control these karts in the wet weather conditions, as we see right there, the 42 of Alfie Garrett going round, and the championship order has changed there, because as it stood before, Ansel Murray would have taken it by a point, and now with Ralph Martin up into second place, then he's going to take it by 2 points, or by 1 point. It's going to swing in the other direction between Ralph Martin and Ansel Murray as it stands. Now with Ralph Martin up into second place, it was going to be Ansel Murray's championship. He looks over his shoulder. He'll see Ralph Martin coming through. Ansel Murray with a warning. Think that's for track limits potentially, because he's not caught up with anybody, and he's been leading the way ever since this race started. Oakley Riggs is up into third place. Alfie Garrett then in P4 with Ethan Lloyd, Heath Smith and Elijah Sang. Then it's Ava Garrett, Daniel Stangarian and Oscar Maskell, or the Stangarian now up into sixth place, as the field has a bit of a change round. Got Ava Garrett and Oscar Maskell both dropping down the order on this lap. We've got Maskell down into 16th place. We've got the 24 off on the outside, and looks like there's no power, unfortunately, for Arthur Bath on the outside of Pit Bend. Was trying to put the power down. Looks like that kart stopped. So we'll need some marshal assistance to get that one cleared, I think. Still got 8 minutes plus 30 seconds and 1 lap on the clock. So not even yet at 1/3 race distance. Ansel Murray with a gap of 4 seconds to Ralph Martin in P2. Yellow flag being waved at the final corner for that kart being stationary and just being dragged away by the marshal. Great job being done there by the staff here at Whilton Mill to get that kart and driver out of the way into safety. Ansel Murray with another stellar lap opens the gap up by another 1.1 seconds. He's off into the distance. Ralph Martin, though, in second place, is, as it stands, off to the end of year award show to pick up the championship trophy. Oakley Riggs in third place. Alfie Garrett and Ethan Lloyd. This battle on your screen for third place, with Oakley Riggs leading. Looks like we've had another yellow flag at some point. They're back to green now, because down the inside goes the 42 of Alfie Garrett. Oakley Riggs having none of that, straight back through and back up into third place. They've got a gap there with some 3 seconds or so to Ralph Martin in front that they need to close in. We'll see in a few moments whether Martin's still continuing to pull gaps out. Ansel Murray, a 1:12.6, fastest lap of the race, and another 1.1 seconds quicker than Ralph Martin, with Oakley Riggs in third place. Alfie Garrett closing in, and then Garrett now sweeping all the way around the outside, and Alfie Garrett with a great move on Oakley Riggs. He's up into third place, is Alfie Garrett, and they've got the 66 of Ethan Lloyd behind. Harley Bradbury Stretton in the number 6. He's going very, very well, up into his highest position so far this race weekend in P6. Heath Smith, Elijah Sang, Etienne Gardner. Yellow flag at Marshall Post 5 as our field negotiates some lap traffic. I'm not sure how that one will be seen via race control, as Alfie Garrett picks up a track limits warning. Field making their way through, so they find their way past the 35 of Jack Morrell. So they head up towards the boot. So they sweep round the outside. Looks like Ethan Lloyd there got a little bit of oversteer, but did well to hold on. Ansel Murray opening the gap up 5.6 seconds. This time, though, Ralph Martin closed in a little bit on this lap. Yellow flag being waved at Marshall Post 1. So they head up towards the crook corner, round the little kink at Fine Lady, and up Manuel's Bank towards the right-hander of Christmas Corner. Garrett using all of the track up to the white line and no more this time on the exit of Christmas Corner. Ansel Murray with a track limits warning at the front. The gap is 5.6 seconds, so Murray doesn't quite need to be using all of the track, as this time it's Ethan Lloyd using every bit of painted concrete he can on the outside of Ashby. Track limit warning for Alfie Garrett again this time. Not sure whether that's for the outside of the first corner, but that's second time now that Alfie Garrett has picked up a track limits warning. Yellow flag stationary at the final corner there. You could see it at Marshall Post 9. So no overtaking, although when they come through over start finish, there is no continued yellow flag, so we are clear. Down the inside of Oakley Riggs goes Ethan Lloyd. Good move by Lloyd. He's up into fourth place as they come over start finish. As the field run up once again towards Christmas. 4 minutes to go, with Ansel Murray leading at the front of this pack so far this weekend. Unbeaten so far this weekend as well, with 3 race victories and another one on the way as it stands at the moment. Ralph Martin third in heat number 1 on Saturday, second in heats 2 and 3, and on his way to second place here today. By my understanding, that's a 1 point swing for the championship in Ralph Martin's favour, and he will take it 6-1-6 to 6-1-5, and even that will see Alfie Garrett only on 6-0-8, so all of them split by 8 points in an enthralling championship as it stands. Back down the inside of Ethan Lloyd goes Oakley Riggs for fourth place, and then Lloyd will try and draw alongside over the start-finish line, and Lloyd will try and sweep all the way around the outside, but it's a long way round there. He's going to then try for the little switch back, and does indeed succeed in doing so. Ethan Lloyd up into fourth place. That demotes Oakley Riggs back down into P number 5. It's the rest of the field. We catch them running down the hill towards Ashby. Leaders starting to make their way through the lap traffic now. And that's adding a little bit of time to their lap times. You can see now as all into the back. Oakley Riggs tags the back of Ethan Lloyd and spins round at Ashby. And the battle for third place is now going to be a 2-cart affair between Alfie Garrett and Ethan Lloyd. There they are, Oakley Riggs falling away. Track limit warning for Ansel Murray for the third time in this race. There's a good little battle going on here. The 21 of Daniel Stangarian battling it out as well as Ralph Martin in the 32 is trying to find his way through on some lap traffic and does so. So the leaders now have lapped up to 12th place. Jude Taylor, the remaining runner, the last of the remaining runners on the lead lap. Gap for the lead though, Ansel Murray out to 8.7 seconds at the moment as Ralph Martin sweeps round the outside. He's opened up his own gap of 7 seconds back to Alfie Garrett, second and third place respectively. Minute and a half for our champion-elect in the 32 from High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, Ralphie Martin. He's picked himself up a track limits warning as well. Doesn't need to push too much. He's got a big gap back to Garrett and Ethan Lloyd. So looks like there's a bit of contact there from into the back of the 44 of Ava Garrett from the 21 of Daniel Stangarian. They're battling it out over 13th place. And looks like Garrett's made some moves on this lap. Keep an eye on that bottom left-hand corner of the screen because it looks like we've had a few changes. And indeed, Oscar Maskell and Ava Garrett go 13th and 14th respectively. Daniel Stangarian and Hadley Jarvis drop a position or 2 positions each down to 15th and 16th respectively. But they continue to battle it out. In behind as well, Ethan Lloyd trying to find a way through, as is the 42 of Alfie Garrett as they sweep through the lap traffic making the race interesting as they head down the hill towards the right-hander as Ava Garrett and Alfie Garrett go side by side on exit of Ashby's. 3 seconds remaining. We're down to 0. So Ansel Murray will see the we got that looked like Harley Bradbury Stretton. Was it potentially off on the inside of the final few corners? Final lap for Ansel Murray as he crosses under the overhead gantry. The gap out to 10 seconds. It's been a commanding drive for Ansel Murray at the front of MightE Bambino, with Ralph Martin in second place. Ansel Murray down the inside up into Christmas Corner. Is that Hadley Jarvis, is it? Oh, no, it's the 11 of Junior Wright, I think, having a little bit of a spin backwards down the hill in 9th place. But Ansel Murray driving superbly in these slippy conditions in karts that really have a power on, power off sort of throttle application, with them being electric karts here in MightE Bambino. Very, very difficult to drive. Comes up onto the back of Jensen James Williams in the 45. He's going to lap up to 9th place, I think, here, with potentially it could even be 8th. I think Junior Wright was round earlier on. Ansel Murray will come through to take victory by nearly 10 seconds. It was 8 seconds on the previous lap, but he's come through nicely. Ansel Murray takes victory at the final round of the season, but we await Ralph Martin in the 32. He's 10 seconds back, but he's coming round the final complex of corners. Ralph Martin crosses the line and is the 2023 MightE Bambino BKC champion by a single point. Ralph Martin, 616 to 615. Ralph Martin in the 32 knew all he had to do was bring that kart home in second place, follow Ansel Murray, and Ralph Martin is the 2023 BKC MightE Bambino champion.